everyone. Today I'll be discussing the importance of user training and how it is essential when a new system is placed. Now, training the end user is an essential part of when applying a new system. The reason behind this is that it significantly increases the productivity when the system is implemented, as users know how to use it and the end users can use all of the functions appropriately. The training must be effective as well in both time and cost, which is why there are three main methods of um, user training. There's self-instruction, where the user learns on their own through trial and error or walkthroughs. There's formal class, where users have to sit in a classroom and the expert teaches them, kind of like what we're doing now. And there is remote training, which is basically online training, which can be accessible at any point, but you need a device. Now, each of these methods have their advantages and disadvantages, which should be weighed up in order to understand their benefits and costs. First of all, is self-instruction. Now, the advantage is that this is the least cost. Basically, you're leaving the users on their own to figure out the system, to understand the system, and therefore it should not cost the company much. It also has a flexible timeline, as the users are able to learn with the system whenever they need, and it is tailored training. The user learns what they want to learn. They don't have to understand the entire software if they do not need to use all of the software. The disadvantages is that there is a lack of guidance, which means for a lot of users, this can be difficult, especially those that are not familiar with technology. It also feels overwhelming for the user when they're suddenly thrown into a new system and they have to try and understand it and figure it out. And finally, features may be misunderstood or ignored. There could be key features or key utilities that can help the user faster while using the system, increasing productivity, but they may not be aware of these features and therefore they will not come to learn. Now, a formal class. First of all, the advantages of a formal class is it is a structured learning environment, and there is an expert on hand. This means that the expert can go and there's personnel they can go help the user, they can help learn how to use the website, and it allows them to cover all of the software because it is a designed curriculum. However, this in turn is expensive. You need to be able to fit all of the end users into a classroom, therefore making it a rigid schedule. You need to be able to hire an expert to come and teach. And finally, as I just mentioned, little personalization. So each user does not really get their own fair share of time. They just learn what they have to learn. Remote training is relatively similar to a formal class, but it does differ in the fact that it can be accessible at any location. It's also a structured learning environment with an expert on hand, but as I just mentioned, a flexible location gives it an edge. It allows it to be accessed or learned anywhere, while formal class does not. It is also expensive, however, but it has two other disadvantages that formal class does not have. First of all, it feels distant and remote. There's no real human interaction, and therefore the user doesn't get to know the expert, doesn't get to understand, they do not collaborate with anyone that is next to them. And finally, it has to be computer-based. There needs to be a computer software for remote training to work, which is also costly, and it could put those that, once again, are not really acquainted with a technology at a disadvantage. Thank you.
Yeah, it's my favourite so far. Thank you.